It's down in the den. So go tell a friend. What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? This is a live edition, a live edition, a live edition. It's your boy Mars, and I'm here with my brother, my partner in crime for today's episode. When we're talking about that music, he is the music aficionado. My Somvali, is that the word? The dudes that do the I don't know. Correct me.
Savant.
Definitely a savant. Definitely a savant. No idiot. But my brother King Petty, man, what's up today? How you doing today, brother?
Doing good. Just got off work. I had to come on here to talk about this shit because I think these motherfuckers got it fucked up.
Yeah, for sure. Now, controversy creates conversation, so that's what we're here. If you guys don't know, if you didn't see the episode cover, we're going to be talking about the Apple Music 100 Best Album list. It was a lot of controversy, a lot of chaos. We're going to go through that, and we're really going to put a focus on the top 10, given our top 10, King Petty's top 10, my top 10. And if you guys want to contribute at home, we want to know your top 10. This is albums, all genres. This is all times. This is the big show. This isn't just hip hop. This is all genres of music. So obviously, there were some controversies. So I think we probably should start with just going over their top 10 and then breaking it down what we think about it. So boom, I just happen to have it right here. Now, their top 10, I know there's a lot of ladies out there that would be extremely satisfied with Queen B making a top 10, but for me, and please don't slander me. Please, Beehive, don't chase after me. When we're talking all time, I don't know if I could put a Beyonce album in top 10 all time. But what about you, Petty?
I can't even put her in my top 20. That's just me. I'm just not a Beyonce fan, so I can't put her even in my top 20. She might be in my top 50, but not my top 20.
Yeah, I mean, it's just when it comes to female singer, there's so many in the R&B genre that I would put before Beyonce. And I'm talking old school, Nita Baker, Shaka Khan, Whitney Houston, Sade. There's so many that I would have to put albums before anything in Beyonce's catalog. So I understand what they're doing. It's Apple. You got to have controversy. But this is what Nile Rodgers says. He says, this album was so monumental, and I say this with a huge amount of respect because I know what it takes to achieve what she did here. Yeah, I mean, I know this album is definitely epic for a segment of the culture, but for me, I can't put it in my top 10. But I guess we should break down our top 10. So what was your number 10 album, Petty?
Okay, let me go to my list.
While you're getting the list, I'll go ahead and do mine.
All right.
So my number 10 album of all time, this is all genres, and I need to mention the criteria. So our criteria, we have replayability, cultural impact, crossover appeal, and sales. Sales have to be a part of it. There are some albums that, are amazing, but at the end of the day, when you're looking at something that is actually a great album, universally, it has to have some sales. So let me go ahead and pull up my number 10. My number 10 album of all time. It's Janet, man. The self-titled 1993. I remember being a little boy, 13 years old.
I'm mad you went that one though.
This album made me into a man, man.
I'm mad you went with that one though. I'm so mad you went with that one.
Versus what? Rhythm Nation?
No. Okay, so my number 10 was Control.
Your number 10 all time was
Control by Janet.
Okay.
Yeah.
We both got Janet at number 10, but I definitely respect that. So I got the Janet album, Petty has Control, and Apple has Beyonce. So I mean, we got Black Queens represented for sure. So let's go with the number 9. And this is so funny because this actually was my number 9 too. Nirvana, Nevermind. Oh man, you had to be there, kids. You had to be there to recognize how crazy this album was. This was my number 10 as well, Nirvana. I remember staying up, looking at MTV, looking at them on Unplugged, looking at like Kurt Cobain was the shit. He was revolutionary, man. He really brought in, and John, you're in the Seattle area, so you know how important grunge music is to that area. You don't
every year every year on his birthday they have a big ass festival for him. On his death they have a big ass festival for him. It's Nirvana Day out here, like damn near once a year. So I mean, like he's a major figure out here. Him, I think it's Stone Temple Pilots, Soundgarden. So yeah, this is where it started. This is where the grunge it started. Like the grunge rock started, and it was like a monumental event back in the '90s. So I mean, like, yeah, Nirvana, yeah, you right for that number 9, yeah.
Absolutely. Who you got?
But he's a little further up in mine though.
Who do you have as number 9?
My number 9, honestly, is Straight Outta Compton.
That definitely meets the criteria.
Yeah.
That definitely meets the criteria. I have that hanging up in my office right now, Straight Outta Compton. Well, in the actual den, right next to a Johnny Cash album. So that shows you how diverse I am.
Right.
But Straight Outta Compton, man. You don't get my number 8 on the list without Straight Outta Compton. You don't get Snoop, you don't get Ice Cube, you don't get Death Row, you don't get DOC, you don't get West Coast music. You don't get it without that album. So, and to this day, the music, it holds up. The production holds up. You got MC Ren and Ice Cube both writing. And DOC writing. You know, you got Dre production on Yellow on production, and then Eazy-E, man. Eazy-E was the superstar. He didn't need to write. He brought the actual true hood. He brought the hood experience, the real street credibility, because he was a drug dealer and he had a dope voice. And I think I went one Halloween for Eazy-E. I took one of my grandma's Jerry curl wigs, put a Raiders hat on, some shades. Everybody else was like, "I'm He-Man." I was like, "She swallowed it." Shout out to Pop for exposing me to that music that I had no business listening to. But definitely. All right, so we're gonna go to Apple's number 8. Apple's number 8. Back to Black Amy Winehouse. I fucks with Amy Winehouse, but she's not in my top 10. I don't think she was around long enough to have that type of impact, although she was dope.
She was a thing of art. Honestly, I listened to her music. I loved her music.
I loved her. I love her music. Probably top 25, but I can't put her in my top.
Like I would have Joplin over her, but that's just me.
Oh yeah, Janis Joplin for sure.
Yeah.
Even though similar short careers, if you're going to karaoke, you're going to hear somebody sing a Janis Joplin song. I guarantee you may not hear an Amy Winehouse song, but you're going to hear a Janis Joplin. So who was your number 8?
God.
Who was your number 8, Patty?
Oh, my number 8. It's another female, and she's from where we from.
Missy Elliott.
Missy Elliott, Super Duper Fly.
Super Duper Fly. Talk about
that was my shit for a whole year. That was my shit for a whole year. Can't deny it. That was my shit. It was, what was it, 95, 96?
96.
Yeah, so I mean, like, yeah, we were
15, 16 years old.
Yeah, when that beat dropped, bro, that shit was hard. I'm not even gonna lie, that Super Duper Fly, that shit was, but then the whole album was, I never thought the album was gonna be that dope. Cause I thought, I was like, oh, she got one single, it's gonna be hot. But that whole album, I didn't skip.
Yeah. Now Missy, shout out to the 757. She is probably my favorite female rapper of all time.
He embodies VA. That's what. That's her.
Just different. That's what we are, man. We're just different. We're not East Coast, we're not West Coast, we're not the South, we're not the North, we're just right in the middle. And because of the military, we have influences from all over the country, and it's just like a cultural hub. And I wouldn't say it anywhere else. But my number 8 was Dr. Dre the Chronic, man. Boy, talk about changing the game. This album right here, to this day, is one of the few albums that you can just put on and walk away. You don't have to skip. You don't have to rewind. Production, perfect. The vocal, Dr. Dre, he doesn't have a lot of work because he's such a perfectionist. Everybody that's worked with him says like he's going to make you say that lyric 600 times a certain way because he already has the song in his head.
Yeah.
As a person that dabbles in production and loves music, to already have the finished product in your head, that's some deep genius shit. So, Dr. Dre, the melodies that brought in the G-Funk era, it brought in real gangster shit.
I think Dre's music is like the only one. It's like some of the shit. Like I don't know if I'm wrong. I could be wrong, but like there's more rewind value than skipping value with Dre.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I don't think I've ever skipped a song. Like I might rewind it. You know what I'm saying? Like like his shit is just on point.
Yeah, there's nothing to skip. He just puts together masterpieces, and he's so far ahead of everyone. It's like ridiculous. Like I would, the amount of music that he has in those vaults, I would do about anything to get my hand on that.
Just knowing that there's Detox in there somewhere.
Oh yeah, they say
shit that we've been wanting to hear. Shit that we've been. Okay, I don't know if I'm the only one. Well, I might be the only one. I've been waiting since he said he announced Detox. I was waiting since he announced the first announcement, which was like, what was it, like 02?
We got Chinese Democracy from Guns N' Roses before we got Detox. That Detox is never coming out. He's damn near 60 years old, but maybe one day when when he's no longer here, his family will allow
probably
us
release it.
Right, get a peek, because they say he's got whole albums with Rakim, whole albums with Busta Rhymes, whole albums with LL Cool J, with Jay-Z that just will never come out.
Podcasting.
All right, so we'll go to Apple's number 7 on the list. They had Good Kid, Mad City, Kendrick Lamar. How fitting with the local. Love the album. My favorite Kendrick album besides Damn, but I like Damn better. So I can't put that. For me, Kendrick doesn't have any top 10 of all time albums. Top 10 hip hop albums, sure, but all time, no.
No, where we at? We had number 8 or 7. Okay, we had 7. Okay, so my 7 is Voodoo.
Jimi Hendrix?
No, D'Angelo.
Oh, D'Angelo Voodoo. Okay, that's
beautiful ass album.
Another Virginia artist. For those who don't know, he's from Richmond, Virginia.
Took too long to bring it out, but I mean, when it came out, it was right on time. Like, don't get me wrong. To me, that's my second favorite album of his. Because I will always, Brown Sugar holds a special place in my heart. That whole album, perfect. That's a perfect album to me. But Voodoo was damn near perfect. The production, like, this motherfucker plays every instrument damn near. He's great album. You know,
it's probably the closest we're gonna get to Prince in modern day. Person that could play all the instruments, do everything. So my number 7 was an album that I played in the 90s so very much. I loved Nirvana, but low key, one of my favorite groups from the 90s was none other than Weezer. and the Blue album. Ooh, ooh, I look just like Buddy Holly. Oh, and you're
If
married.
I'm correct, you used to play that in the house sometimes.
Boy, I played that thing
I knew it. Yeah, I forgot. I remember.
that shit melted. I've literally bought 3 of these on tape and 2 of these on CDs because I've played this album. My name is Jonas. Oh man, that's my shit. So for me, it was just culturally, it was different, man. These guys were rock stars, but they were just like white boys with the Dockers on,
Yeah.
bowling shirt, just in the garage. But man, Weezer is incredible. They worked a lot with Lil Wayne. But Weezer, man, they launched a series of albums. Pinkerton, the Green album, the Red album is so many classics that I could say with Weezer. They're one of my top bands of all time. And this album for me, it really just changed my ear on what I was looking for in music. So
Right.
Weezer, the Blue album, my number 7. All right, let's see what Apple has at number 6. All right. So this one is a classic album. It got an honorable mention for me, but Stevie Wonder, Songs in the Key of Life. That had some dope I mean,
Beautiful album.
beautiful album. It's lit, from his singing to his harmonica playing. I think people would say this is probably this or Intervision's his best album. It's a toss up, but a beautiful album. Probably been sampled more than anything. It was right out the top 10 for me. It's in my top 15. Where would you put Intervisions? Songs in the Key of Life.
Oh my God. For me, that would be like that's not my top 10, but it'd be like 12.
Yeah, this is top 15 for me. It's top
Yeah,
15.
like it'd be 12. Like that album, even though it came out before we were even born or even thought of, when you hear it, when you are grown, you're a grown ass man. That shit is different. It hit different. So I like that. Like I like that album. But my number 6, Lord have mercy. Probably one of my favorite groups. It's my favorite hip hop group. Uh, Outkast, Aquemini. My
Mm,
favorite. One of my favorite albums of all time.
I love Outkast. I agree. When you're talking about favorite hip hop groups, for me, it's Outkast by a long shot. Probably followed by Mobb Deep, Wu Tang, um, the band. I'm just kidding on that one,
No,
but
you said the band.
I was fucking around. I was
I
kidding.
know, I know. I was just like, wow. I was like, shit.
I was kidding. So for me, my number 6 album is going back to hip hop. It's my favorite hip hop album of all time. It's really a cheat because it's 2 albums, but Life After Death, man. The Notorious B.I.G. This came out days after he was gunned down, March 9th, 1997 in Los Angeles. I remember like it was yesterday, waking up, turning the TV on my room, and Kurt Loder is on my screen and scrolling at the bottom. 24-year-old hip hop artist Christopher Notorious Big Wallace gunned down in Los Angeles this morning. Blew my mind because we had just lost Tupac like 6 months prior, and you thought it was over. And then, ironically named Life After Death, even the footage, they talk about be careful what you speak of. There's a song with my boy Raps that we're working on called Power of the Tongue. And you can put a casket out of your neck as Kendrick would say, but this album, double album,
Perfect.
perfect. He did 20 some odd songs, including skits of just sheer perfection. Songs that to this day I can quote and know the lyrics, and they weren't like mumble rap lyrics. They were like lyrics. This was
Yeah.
lyrical nobody in the game better, in my opinion, at putting his lyrics are so good that you can put a track that was clearly recorded in like 95 and 96 and lyrically nobody in this game right now is going to come close to him. Not Kendrick, not J. Cole, not Drake and his 40 writers. No one is coming close to him. And the man can tell a story, like, which is solely missing in hip hop. I think T.I. or somebody else
From
said
front to back.
front to back. I mean, literally, I got a story to tell, like narrating this situation. My favorite hip hop album of all time, and then my number 6.
If you notice, every song could be a like a lightweight episode.
Yeah, it was like a movie. He literally narrated a movie.
Scorsese
to beats. Martin Scorsese, Alfred Hitchcock. He always called himself the rap Alfred Hitchcock, and that's what he was. He was a storyteller. If he was a director, he would be up there, like you said, with Martin Scorsese. If he was a painter, he'd be right up there with Basquiat. And when it comes to hip hop, nobody better than Notorious B.I.G. So that's my number 6 of all time. All right, let's go on to the halfway mark. We're halfway through, ladies and gentlemen. Number 5, Apple Pit Blonde, Frank Ocean. Wow. I like Blonde. It was a good album, but of all time, I don't know if it makes my top 50. If I'm going to be completely honest, but I've never been like one of the Frank Ocean super fans, like some people who just put him as the greatest to ever do it. But who do you have at number 5?
Purple Rain.
Classic. Ironically,
the Prince is just, like there's, I don't think there is nothing else I can say. It's Prince. It's like every song on that joint, every song on that album, everything. And then you have the movie.
Yeah. Ironically, it was my number 5 as well. That's why I already had it up here. But yeah, man, it's an album. He was the king of that. Give you a soundtrack that's better than the movie itself. Although Purple Rain is a cult classic,
even though the movie was dope. The movie was dope to me.
The movie was hella dope.
Yeah.
You must bathe yourselves in the waters of Lake Minnetonka. Dope movie. Prince, be a 4'5" and just being a Mr. Steal Your Girl. Dope. Nobody doper, man. Nobody doper than Prince when it comes to just pound for pound music, artistry, lyrics, musicianship, stage presence. He's that guy. He is him. I agree with you 100%. That was my number 5 as well. So yeah, Prince number 5. So let's go down to number 4. Let's see what Apple did. So Apple had Purple Rain.
Okay, they was okay. All right.
So we all pretty much close. So let's see what they said. They said with half its track listing comprised of top 10 singles, this soundtrack is what truly turned Prince Rogers Nelson into one of the most instantly recognizable and distinctive pop artists ever. Prince often drew comparisons to Jimi Hendrix for the way he mixed music that felt black and white, sacred and profane. The reality is that he had no precedent then and no comparison now. Seriously, one of a kind. I agree wholeheartedly. They said it best. But yeah, we both have Prince Purple Rain up there in the top 5, and I can agree with that. So who's your number 4?
Ooh, Jesus Christ. The Miseducation.
Okay. That was Apple's. Well, we'll get to it. But Miseducation, Lauryn Hill. If it wasn't Missy Elliott, I would have Lauryn Hill as my best rapper. But because she's only done one album, I can't have her as my favorite female rapper. She's kind of like in that Andre 3000, like you should be, but because of the
This
limit,
album was totally like
perfect, perfect album for
a
men.
clean sweep. Like
Wow. And the crazy thing is, she had just come off the score, which was an amazing Fugees album, which sold millions and millions of records. And, you know,
what is it, Diamond now?
oh, yeah, definitely.
So yeah, one album that actually stands the test of time. That is one of them. That is one of them. And she only brought out one album. There's rumors now she's about to bring another one, but you can't top the Miseducation
right.
just from her. That's just like saying Adele can top 21. She can't.
You can't. Or Michael Toppin Thriller. Sometimes you do a piece that just becomes your identity and everything else will pale in comparison. It's your life work. She's just one of those people that on the first shot, she completed her life's work with her first shot. Holding one.
Right.
Man, there's something up there for everyone. One of the best diss tracks, Lost One, real bars, the melodies, her voice,
Everything.
never better.
A complete body of work.
Complete body of work. Told the story. The visuals were epic. Everything had to hit perfectly for this album to be released. It was just outside of my top 10. I had it at number 11, and that's why it's not on my list. But it's definitely, I can't argue with anyone putting it up there. So my number 4 was Usher Confessions. When it comes to R&B, I listen to this album to this day. I put something on, and I'm like, wow. And I went back and forth with that in 8701. But when I say closest to MJ for a long, long time, Usher was that dude. And, regardless of controversy, he's got a couple of bodies of work that are beyond classic, that are diamond selling. That man was on stage moonwalking with Michael Jackson. Ain't too many people doing that. So Usher Confessions was my number 4. It was and still, it's the reason not too many people get selected to do the Super Bowl. And that album is probably primarily the reason why he was able to do the Super Bowl, because it's that damn good. And it's just a classic album. Jermaine Dupri on production, nothing I could say from, to this day. Are you for real? Put that on everything. We still saying that to this day. So it's a classic album. But before we get to number 3, we got to take a quick commercial break. I want to make sure that you guys do me a favor, and I want you to check out our brother. He wanted to be on this, but he's preparing for a performance. So please check out the new single, The Double Cross, by Johnny Raps, featuring Al Unique. It's got a Western vibe, the bars up there. It's boom bap hip hop. It's streaming, available everywhere you want to check out music is there. Please check that out. And then if you are in the New York area, let's see, here we go. In Delancey on June 8th, Saturday at the Delancey, my brother is performing live. I'm going to be there. It's going to be special guests. Al Unique is going to be there. Shea Peso is going to be there. This is an older flyer, but it still works. You can get tickets at the door, or you can scan this little QR key and get your tickets if there. I love to see you there. I'm going to be there. Some other Den mates are going to be there. We're going to have some surprises, live performance, some new music from the album that we worked on together will be performed for the first time. So if you're in New York and you're a Den mate, come in there with your Den mate shirt on. I'll buy you a beer. How about that? So we'll see you in Delancey June 8th, Saturday. If you're on the East Coast, New York, come on through, catch out the rap show. The rest of the folks at Holland Jungle, Our Unique Noise, and your boy Mars is going to be there as well. So wanted to do that quick commercial break before we get to the top 3. So let's get to Apple's number 3. All right, so Abbey Road, the Beatles. I'm not gonna hold you. I don't fuck with the Beatles. They have a couple of good stuff. I'm not gonna hold you though. As a music, music guy, and who does a whole podcast dedicated to music and interviews up and coming artists, I may get my journalism flag taken away, but I don't fuck with the Beatles. They've got 4 songs that I like. I like 100 albums. I don't. Do you have any love for the Beatles at all, Petty?
I don't think I think I've only heard "I Want to Hold Your Hand," and I think that's all I've ever heard, bro. Like,
they're trash.
I'm sorry, like I don't. It just wasn't something I was. Nah.
I like the Monkees better, yo. Daydream Believer shits on anything the Beatles got.
Right.
But that's just me. That's a hot take. But who do you got as your number 3?
Okay, so my number 3 is Jay-Z, The Blueprint. It's dope album, great album. Actually, it's not my favorite from him, but it is worthy of the 3rd spot for me.
What's your favorite Jay-Z?
My favorite Jay-Z album, Reasonable Doubt.
See, I like the Black Album. That's my favorite one.
Like that first one, I don't know. That first one is just different. For me, like just listening to it when the first time when I heard it back in the day when I was at my neighbor's house and I heard it for the first time, I tripped out. I was like, "What the fuck is this?" I was at Marcus' house. I was at Pinard house, and like I tripped out when I heard that. So Reasonable Doubt that's that one for me.
But Blueprint as your number 3. Why is Blueprint? Why not Reasonable Doubt?
Blueprint. The reason why I like Blueprint was, it had everything. Like at that time period, it had everything. There was nobody else beating him. He had already had 12 summers already. So
he started in '96. So
yeah, so I mean, like not 12 summers, but you know what I'm talking about. Like he had basically he was running shit. So, and then the diss, like basically the Nas and Mobb Deep diss. So I mean, like that was Takeover. So yeah, that was a dope ass album. I mean,
young Kanye West on production. We really got to see the coming out party of Kanye and Just Blaze introduced in that game. So I can't argue with you. If I had to have my hip hop album up there, I looked at Jay because everybody knows that's Jay and Biggie are my favorite rappers. But ultimately, I had to go Biggie.
Yeah,
that double CD gets you two for the price of one. I can't beat that. So my number 3 album was Legend Bob Marley. And it's kind of a cheat list because it's kind of like a greatest hits, but it was my first introduction to Bob Marley when I was young. And back then I hadn't smoked the thing, but I wanted to after listening to Bob Marley. There's a lot of people call it reggae, but it's more just like world music to me. Like he had revolutionary songs, he had love songs, he had songs that made you want to stand up, songs that make you want to dance. It's just what a shame that the planet only got him for 36 years and he made that much amazing music in that short amount of time. But for me, my introduction, if I always said, if the aliens came and they said, give us a something that is the best that humanity could offer. One of the things I would hand them is Legend, Bob Marley, so they could listen to that because it's that dope. It's like the best representation of what we can do as a people. So my number 3, Light Work, Legend, Bob Marley. That's my number 3.
Okay.
All right. So let's see what Apple has as number 2. Oh man. You know it. Thriller, Michael Jackson. Yeah, that's kind of a no-brainer. Thriller, Michael Jackson is the highest to this day, the highest selling album of all time, easily. It was also my number 2 as well. But yeah, what do you think about Thriller, man? Does it hold up to this day?
So for me, it was actually my number 1.
Thriller.
That's my number 1. Nothing beats that. My number 2 is Marvin Gaye. What's going on?
Classic. Damn.
Nothing. There's nothing else like it. That album is beautiful, and I was late to it. So I mean, like, I had to listen to that till I was grown. So
that's the best time, because when you've really had some life under your belt,
you have to.
You can really appreciate that, man. And I'm thankful.
And that album just like that hits like some chords. So like, like some heartstrings and everything. So like, I love that album. But Thriller's my number 1. Like Marvin Gaye is number 2 for me.
Yeah, Thriller was my number 2. I love MJ, obviously, and it was just
we all tried to beat him. We all tried to emulate him.
We all did. If everybody had a glove or a sock or a wig or something, or if you're me, I got 2 full costumes in the closet right now that I can pull out.
I'm mad at that. Shoot, I had one in like elementary school, and that was it. I had the glove, and then I had the doll. So I'm not ashamed to say I had a Michael Jackson doll.
Hey, I mean, action figures.
Well, action figure now, but it wasn't an action figure then. So I mean, it's just worth a pretty penny now. Whoever got one is worth.
Oh yeah. Anything MJ. I mean, the greatest.
And I know who got one. And the thing about it, me and you know who got one.
Oh yeah, I know. I know exactly who you're talking about. But he ain't coming off that.
Not at all.
Forget about that. All right, so we know Apple's number 1 was Lauryn Hill. She made it in my top 15, but not in my top 10. But Lauryn Hill's debut, her only solo album, obviously Seismic Event. It's a perfect album. I don't think anybody argued with that. But that was their number 1. Your number 1, you said, was Thriller, correct?
Yeah.
Which, once again, hard to argue. So my number 1, for me, it's a group I've probably seen more on tour than any group ever. I've seen them at least 3 times and want to see them again this summer. They're my all-time favorite band. They get a lot of disrespect, but at the end of the day, my number 1 album of all time is Red Hot Chili Peppers' Californication. This album was like
that was in my top 15.
Yeah,
oh my God. I love that album.
Their Abbey Road. Like, before, they were just kind of the funky white boys that were working with George Clinton and kind of weird and stuff. But this album, they changed guitarists. They went from Dave Navarro, and they got their old guitarist back, and they put together this beautiful sonic ode to California. A person that grew up on the East Coast that always felt like I was born on the wrong coast. This was it for me. To this day, I can put this album on, put it on, and just drift away. And this started like a 4-album ending with like Stadium Arcadium, where they just dropped some fucking classic, beautiful works of art that I didn't even think they were capable of. And for me, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Californication, there's nothing in the world that's going to take that out of my heart. My favorite album of all time, my number one, your boy Morris, number one. So that's it for me. That was the one. That was the album.
Yeah, I'm not gonna deny that. That's a dope ass album. You know what I mean? So yeah, folks. All the albums were dope. I mean, like a lot of the albums that he had on the list, I hadn't really heard. The Low End Theory by a Tribe Called Quest, I was shocked that even got to 29.
Yeah, my brother was a huge Tribe fan, and so I in turn became a huge Tribe fan. But out of all the Jungle Family, I loved De La Soul, man. De La Soul, States is High, still one of my favorite songs, which was like a Tupac diss. A lot of people don't know that was a Tupac diss. But States is High, De La Soul, 3 feet in, rest in peace, Dove, plug one.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a ton when you look at that list. Who else, when you look at that list, kind of took you by surprise?
I was shocked how that Dark Twisted Fantasy was 26. Kanye got 26.
Yeah,
I would put Alanis Morissette over him. Honestly, that's just me.
I love Alanis Morissette. So she's dope. And there should have been some. I didn't see any love for like Backstreet Boys or nothing like that. They didn't give the.
Well, you know they wasn't gonna do that anyway.
They better not sleep on
Oh no.
To the day I rock with BSB, I don't care.
Adele got 15. That Good Kid, Mad City got 7. I don't know if it's even. Good Kid, Mad City at 7 kind of got me by surprise. But what's weird is the Frank Ocean album. I don't. No, I can't. I don't listen. Like I listened to the album, I just didn't like it.
Yeah, I mean Frank Ocean. Sometimes he's too artsy, fartsy. He's like, and they're both in the same clique, Tyler the Creator. I'm not a huge Tyler the Creator fan, but a lot of people will be like, "Oh, he's the best thing ever."
It depends on the album from him for me. If it's like Wolf or
Igor,
I like Igor, but I like Wolf better. If it's Cherry Bomb, I like that one. You know what I mean? So I mean, like it depends on that. Or if I go back to the Odd Future days of Tyler the Creator, I like the old school Odd Future with him, Earl Sweatshirt, and everybody. I like that stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah. But like, if it's like his new stuff, Call Me When You Get Lost was nice. Just because he gave it that mixtape feel.
He did that with Alchemist, right?
No, with DJ Drama.
Oh, DJ Drama, yeah.
Yeah. Right. So I mean, like that was that was different. Like he gave a classic album. I mean, it's a classic album. Don't get me wrong. Call Me When You Get Lost is a dope ass album, but he gave it a mixtape feel. So I mean, like, and ain't nobody did that yet. I don't think right now nobody has.
Yeah, no, he's got some. I mean, he's dope. Don't get me wrong. It's just I don't think he's as avant-garde as a lot of people make him out to. I think sometimes people had the Emperor New Clothes syndrome, and maybe I'm just not seeing it. And one album, what's the album that to you is just like something that you think should have been bigger, but a lot of people may not know about? And then after that, I want to get into, your Petty's personal picks, because obviously you're our music guru. What people should be listening to next. But what's one album that for you, low key, was like people need to check out?
Of an old one? From this list, or not from the list?
Not from the list. That something that didn't make the list, but just was like, yo.
Damn. Okay. No, I was gonna say no. If I had to think of somebody, let me think. Hmm.
I
Well,
got
there
one.
might be a couple. Uh, to me, my personal pick of an album, it's a mixtape, but it could have been an album. 56 Nights by Future.
Okay.
That's nice. Ooh, I liked Kingdom Come by Jay-Z.
I like Kingdom Come as well. Like a
But
lot
a
of
lot of people
people,
didn't like that shit. I thought that was a dope ass album just for a return comeback.
they wanted pimping, big pimping, and he was like literally in music exec mode. Like one thing about Jay-Z, even though I could certainly understand when people, because I think he's spitting better on his older stuff, but now I think he's where he always wanted to be. He's almost doing like spoken word now. If you listen
Right.
to his last, I think, output, he was on the soundtrack of that movie with he had a song with D'Angelo up there, and the whole song was like just spoken word. And he told you, he like, truthfully, I want to rhyme like Common Sense, but I sold 5 mil. I ain't been rapping like Common Sense. Like he's really in his artistic bohemian art, New York,
Right.
real life bass guy, and I love that evolution. So, but Kingdom Come was his first step. He put away the jerseys. He kind of was separate from Dame Dash. I think that was the first album. He had Dig a Hole where he dissed Cam and he dissed.
Yeah.
It was like he was talking real spicy on that album. A lot of people don't know, but he was talking real spicy on that album. I fucks with Kingdom Come. That's definitely a pick. One album for me came out about 2 years ago, but our very own Raps and King Aflo, they did an album called Education, and I went to it's available now. It's like this, and I've always fought with raps, but this one I
Mhm.
was like, oh no, you spitting. This was like some Wu-Tang, Cool G rap. I mean, it was, man, that shit was refreshing. And I told him, I said, I actually like that better than Mr. Morale. It came out the same year that Mr. Morale came out, and I like the Education album better. And I fucks with Mr. Morale, but it was just so different. Like, so if y'all get an opportunity, check that out. The group is called Education. You can look it up on wherever you stream your music. Just type in Johnny Raps Education. You'll see it. And tell me my man ain't spitting. My man Aflo from Philly. Both of those dudes were spitting on that shit. And Dre Hayes and Cortex that did the production. They killed that shit. So that was one of my like personal, not a lot of people know about, but it's staying in rotation to this day.
Oh yeah. My personals. Okay, so I got 3 personals. Like I told you, DJ Fresh, of course, the world freshest DJ Fresh from out the Bay. Uh, Don Trip. My homeboy B told me about him, and this man is releasing the album every month, and every album is like nasty. He's all on YouTube, like doing like he's doing like his album. He's like literally, the video is him and a mic, and he's just rapping. And then my other favorite is Akeem Ali, Kimi Casanova. So
And all
yeah.
these guys are out of the where these guys out of?
Kimi Casanova is from over by you,
Oh, okay.
Baltimore, Delaware, I believe.
Okay,
Uh,
DMC.
I think so. Yeah. Don Tripp is from Memphis. And the world's freshest DJ Fresh. He's from Oakland. He do songs with Filthy Rich. If nobody know who from the Bay artists, Filthy Rich, Jay Stalin. People know who Mozzie is. Let me see. Too Short, E40. He's done songs for everybody. So he's just not getting the recognition. So I mean, like, yeah.
Okay,
As,
yeah,
as well as the Mechanics.
nice. And speaking of putting on for the area, I want y'all to check out. I got her shirt on right now. Let me see if I can put the camera, because we support Octavia the Great from Hampton Roads right here in Portsmouth, Virginia. She got a new album coming out. I want to say June 11th. But she got a summer anthem called No Bra. Check that shit out right now. Her name Octavia the Great. She delivered me the merch, hand delivered me the merch. So I told her I'd support for the new album that comes out next week, I believe June 11th. Octavia the Great. That's my pick for you. Put you on to some new music for sure. So shit, bro, we almost done with this bitch, man. But I like these lists, man, because it creates an opportunity for people to debate and have conversation and remember, no pun intended, remember the times, like remember certain music and go back and check out these albums and see what people are talking about. And that's what I do before I just negate what somebody, I listen to it. And that's why I can honestly say I don't fuck with the Beatles, because I've listened to a ton and I'm waiting for this greatness that everybody says they are. And I'm like,
just don't hear it.
I don't hear it. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is that music suicide if I don't like the Beatles? I know the Rolling Stones. I fucks with the Rolling Stones. I fucks with Mick Jagger. If somebody said that's the greatest rock band, I'm like, okay, I can see that. But the Beatles, my favorite Beatles song is probably Yesterday. That shit's bored as hell. So yes.
All I heard is "I Want to Hold Your Hand." I don't think I've heard anything else from the Beatles unless if I don't know it. So
music fans, this is our homework. Please, in the messages, send us a Beatles song that if you're a Beatles fan and you feel they deserve all the accolades they've received throughout their career, please send me or Petty a DM with the Beatles song that we need to check out. Please. We will stream it, and when we come back, we will give an honest rating. And like I said, man, if the shit's dope, we're gonna tell you. We're gonna keep it real. But if it's trash, like I believe it will be, we're gonna tell you it's trash too. So we got to pay some bills. We got one sponsor for today's episode, Voloco Beats. Voloco Beats, man, it is a dope app that you should check out. If you are someone that just like messing with music or an actual artist, it's a great tool. If you're on the road, it's like having a studio in your house where you can, or like right in your hand, where you can literally record vocals, layer the vocals, use a quality mic right on your phone. And I mean, it's great for demos. So I downloaded the app because a part of being a sponsor for this app, I had to download it to try it, and it is actually dope. So I'm gonna see if I can. I'm gonna play for y'all something that I created in about 2 minutes. All right. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. I'm gonna get it. I'm having a. Can you hear that? Oh, I got y'all. I'm gonna figure it out. Excuse the technical difficulties. All right, there we go. All right, so this is with the app, y'all.
It's the D.E.N. Mars. Let's go.
You know, sometimes things just don't work out.
Nah.
Think about you on a daily. Maybe I was wrong, and maybe it's just barely a time, but you're not on my mind. You know that you shine just like the sun. You glisten, and I'm wishing that I would listen a little. I guess I was wrong, couldn't figure out your riddle. I was in heaven when I was up in your middle. But now it feels like things got critical. You didn't put in minimal effort. My blessings are gone. It was wrong. You said, Sean, you need to grow up, or at least show up. Maybe I ain't know, but I guess that the holdup was that I'm not mature. Immaturity has ruined me. I thought it was just you and me.
You and me.
Damn, what you do to me.
Do to me.
I guess all of this is new to me. You
New to
can
me.
be perfect, but the world don't deserve it.
Nah.
You gave it all, you served it.
Yeah.
I guess I just deserved it.
Deserved it.
And now I've been confused and I've been used. I choose to be abused. I had so many views, but this is what it do. I don't care. I don't care. You can get out. Screaming and yelling, we just shit out. Damn, I'm trying to get my shit out. I'm not constipated, should've waited, but I hate it. Everything that you would say to me, you said it rudely. Understand everything that you do to me. Got me so confused. I choose to be abused. I got different views. I guess it's just you. We were supposed to be together. We were supposed to weather the storm. We were supposed to do it better. We were supposed to work together and get all this cheddar. We were supposed to capture the world, but I guess it never ever was gonna happen. You was capping. You wasn't who said you were. Damn. It's a blur. It's a blur. I choose to be confused. We had so many views.
So many.
I guess that's what it do.
What it do?
You know I'm sick of you.
Sick of you.
Sick of you. You should get gone. You got the shit wrong. I'm on this damn song talking about how long I could have held on. I should have held on. Just a little spoken word. I know how it is. Should be pure bliss. Then they end up pure shit. Stupid bitch.
It's the D.E.N.
I did that in one take, freestyle, 5 minutes with this app, and it's almost ready for production. That's how easy this app is. So creators,
That's crazy, bro. That's crazy.
get that thing. That was one take. What's up, Kyle? What's up? We come at the end, man. We about to end this bad boy. But so get that app now. And you can use discount code the D.E.N, discount code the D.E.N, discount code the D.E.N. And I think you'll for you musicians, I think you'll like it. It's a dope. That was a freestyle, free song from y'all from Mars, world debut. So that's it, man. Petty, please let the people know where they can find you on social media.
Okay. You can find me at the Ill Vision Network on YouTube. Pop with Petty. Petty and Real Conversations, and Petty's Poetry Moments. You can also find me on Snapchat. I think it's Grown and Petty 44 right now. And then on what is it? IG, it's Eyes to My Soul 80.
Eyes underscore to my underscore.
Oh yeah, you good. Yeah, that's it right there.
It's right there. So y'all go, please support my man. He has a ton of great content coming up. And always, as I mentioned, if you guys want a person to speak about music, my man Petty is always available to guest on your podcast. Networking is the way that we grow together as Black podcasters. So please support my man. And
yeah, because they don't want me to talk about music. I'll go back to Mike Geronimo and shit like that.
It goes further. It goes further. So, and then guys, if you want to know where the best way to support me is by following us on YouTube. That's our primary source of viewers. So please tell your friends, go over on YouTube, typing that down in the den. Not only will you find this show, but we have a litany of shows, content for almost every single thing that you can be into. It's not just a YouTube channel, it's a goddamn network. And we've got content from a bunch of Black creators of color. We support independent podcasters, independent musicians. If you're interested in being a guest on Down in the Den, you can find me right here at Instagram at Mars_Entertainment. That's the best way to get in contact with me with business. Send me your music. Tell me what you want to talk about, and we can get it done. If you are looking for exposure, if you're looking for media training, if you're looking for networking, the Den, Dreams and Nightmares. It's a community built on trust. Secret society, all we ask is trust. So if you're ready to be a den mate, let me know right there at Mars Entertainment. We will get you on. We're filming currently, about to start taking interviews again. So for those new artists, we got 6 more slots until the summer, before we go on summer break. So if you're interested in being on the show, that's the place to find me. Also, shout out to our brother Kyle Jones, who is sitting there watching. Give him a follow. He has 2 YouTube pages. You can, that's keeping up with the Kyle Joneses. And of course, Kyle Jones Sports Unfiltered, home of Blow the Whistle Sports. So he likes to say blowing the whistle, even though the show is called Blow the Whistle, but
Blowing the whistle. Pause.
Pause. Big pause. But Petty, you got any shout outs before we go, bro?
I need a shout out to my homeboy Real Spill. Give a shout out to just everybody out there. You, Big Gerald, Short Man. Yeah, it's just everybody should just keep it going.
Wick, yeah, all the people. But we know what you guys can do to help us. Once again, as always, like, comment, subscribe. Make sure that you share and turn your notifications on, so when we drop these emergency streams, you can be first to view the show. Of course, we got replay available wherever you listen to podcasts at midnight. So that's it for my man King Petty, for your boy Mars, Marz. It's your boy, aka Marlon Beardo, the bearded weirdo, the Stella Rosa Casanova, and the Should Not of the podcast game. We're out this bitch. We will catch y'all on the next one. Once again, we want to see y'all in New York on June 8th. Johnny Rapp's concert. Please check us out. We'll be there. The Den. We out.